Hello, today we're making our paprika butternut squash. But instead of using butternut squash, we're using sweet potato because it's summer and there's no butternut squash. Let's get started. Normally when I eat sweet potatoes, I eat them with the skin on just so that I can get those added vitamins and minerals that are inside the actual skin. This sweet potato is a little bit wonky, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna peel off the bits and pieces that are not as appetizing, and then we'll go ahead and start cutting it. Now that our franken-tato is peeled sporadically, we're gonna get chopping. So like with any other round vegetable, you want to create a flat surface for you to cut on. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it somewhat through the middle. Even with a super sharp knife, it is a little difficult. All right, then I'm gonna place it on the flat side for potato. And I'm going to cut it into cubes that are bite-sized. Then I'm going to take these thicker slices and cut them in half. And cut them again the opposite direction. All right, and I'm going to do this with the rest of the sweet potato, trying to make sure that all of the pieces are around the same size. I'm going to put them in this bowl, and then we'll season them. Here is our potato chopped into little squares. Now we're going to season it inside of the bowl so that way all of the potatoes get equal amounts of seasoning. So we're gonna start off with our canola oil or vegetable oil, black pepper, salt, and finally, the star of the show, paprika. I'm using smoked paprika because I really love that smoky flavor. Now, if we had done this with a butternut squash, we would have done this process very similarly, but instead of leaving the skins on, we would have peeled the full butternut squash, scooped out this, cut it in half, scooped out the seeds from the inside, and then cut it into squares. But since we're using a sweet potato, we only had to do about half of those steps. So let's stir it all together. Make sure that they're fully coated. Oops, lost one there. We want to make sure that not, one or two pieces have all of the pepper and the paprika and the salt, but that everything is nice and even. All right. And then off to the side, I have a foil-lined baking sheet. I'm going to place all of my sweet potatoes on my baking sheet in one even layer, so that way it all cooks at the same time. You'll notice some patterns here. We want everything to be the same size. We want everything to be in one even layer. And it's all so that everything cooks evenly, deliciously, and nothing burns and nothing's hard at the end. I'm gonna make sure they're not piled on top of each other. All right, and in a second, I will put these in our 400-degree oven. Roasting is an excellent way to prepare root vegetables. Like I mentioned before, root vegetables become caramelized and sweeter when they're placed inside of the oven. Some root vegetables you can absolutely leave the skin on, and some of them you'll want to peel beforehand. Roasting is not just amazing for root vegetables. Pretty much any vegetable that you can think of outside of things like cucumbers tastes absolutely delicious when roasted in an oven. So if you want to try out new vegetables, or you're not so certain about something new, Give it a roast with a little bit of oil, some salt, some pepper, whatever seasonings that you like. Roasting is a fantastic and versatile way to prepare new and favorite vegetables. So let's put it in the oven. And I'm gonna check on it in about 10 minutes, make sure that nothing is burning. And then I will give it a good shake and put it back in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes. So our potatoes have been roasting for about 15 minutes. I just gave them a quick stir around. And I will place them back in the oven for another 15, and then it'll be time to eat. And here is our finished roasted paprika sweet potatoes and our sriracha glazed chicken. I also added a little bit of cilantro because while it is a very delicious plate, it is also a very orange plate. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I cannot wait to be back next week. Enjoy!